Hello. I'm coming to you late. It's I think it's about 2:30 in the morning. I am wholly unprepared. I'm not woefully unprepared. I'm ready to talk shit. I just normally before I do a live stream, I will sort of bullet point a couple of topics or things that I want to approach or talk about. Whereas tonight, I haven't done that. I'm just I'm at a bit of a loose end. I've become somewhat sort of nocturnal, and you see, you never know when I'm going to come at you. Sometimes I do live streams first thing in the morning, the break of dawn. Sometimes I do them usually sort of afternoonish, but sometimes, like this time, this is one of those times. Here I am, post midnight. And so, hello, welcome. Yeah, this should be fun, eh? Did you see that tranny that I met last night? Who I invited into my home because I thought it was a girl. She presented as a girl. He presented as a girl. It presented whatever. And I was buying it for a good amount of time. I did find it a little odd that they were wearing a surgical mask, aka face mask. We've been over that one. Yeah, a surgical mask in 2025. And then at one point, this person removed the surgical mask. And what did I see? A full-on goatee, like a full chin beard. So I was like, all right, I've been at it. I fell for it. I was fooled. I mean, hey, it was dark out. It was late night. I spotted her in the bloody street. I said, do you want to come to mine? I live down the road. And she was like, yeah, I'll come to yours. I was sitting with you, chat to you. I thought, hey, someone to talk to, someone to do, you know. And we were probably at mine for about over an hour before this surgical mask was removed. And then I saw the chinny chin chin, the hairs of the chinny chin chin. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm not phobic by any stretch of the definition. I'm not scared of trans people. Who's scared of trans people? What are you going to do? Tickle me with your feather boa? And I'm not hateful towards trans people. I view it quite compassionately, believe it or not. I believe it is a mental illness. Almost entirely brought on by the culture that we live in, what's promoted. I mean, the amount of white males who are declaring themselves women is off the fucking charts. And I wondered about this for a little while. I was like, why is this? Why is the majority of these transitions, why is it white men, young white men, declaring themselves women? And I think I figured it out. Culturally speaking, socially speaking, blah, blah, blah. In terms of coolness, the oppression Olympics, white men are at the very, very, very bottom of the totem pole, especially straight white men. Like, nobody cares about you. You've got no right to grievance. You can't complain without being called fragile. You're nothing. You're the lowest on the totem pole. And a lot of young white men aren't very happy about that. They want to feel included. They want to feel celebrated. They want to feel something positive. And so, as opposed to taking the difficult track of reminding people of the importance of genuine equality and celebrating people on their individual merits, regardless of sex, race, gender, etc., what a lot of these white men will choose to do is put on a skirt and a wig, paint the nails, and say, I'm out now. Accept me, celebrate me. And what does the world do? It parties, it claps, it does party poppers, it celebrates, it welcomes, it hugs. And that's what a lot of these young men have been looking for their entire lives, really, some level of acceptance that unfortunately they're not going to find through virtue of being a straight white male. You have to be, to some level, exceptional to a high level exceptional, to be honest, if you're gonna be celebrated as a straight white male. The easy way out, the fashionable way out, is to declare yourself a woman or even come out as gay. Any of those so-called oppressed identities, just identify with one of those, and you'll get the fanfare. You'll get the fanfare, and that's what a lot of these men are doing. And so many of them regret it, and that's the saddest thing. I saw this meme once about like people in old people's homes that the staff have to constantly remind them where they are and what their name is because they're senile. They're old age pensioners. And this meme was getting at, and it's funny, but it's also tragic that like in 40, 50, 60 years time, there are going to be nursing home, old people's home care staff having to constantly remind the guy what happened to his dick. He's going to wake up in the morning like, "Where's my fucking Johnson?" And she's going to have to sit him down and say, look, you cut it off when you were 22, all right? You underwent surgery. You remember? You thought you were a woman. You had your penis removed. Yes, voluntarily. And she's going to have to give him that talk once every few hours. It's funny because it's penis related. And, you know, we all like a bit of toilet humor and whatnot. But in reality, it's kind of very, very sad. And there's always an element of truth in humor. Sometimes there's an element of sadness in humor. This would be one of those times, I imagine. Anyway, let's lighten the mood, shall we? Let's talk about something a little more fun. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? I was sober for about 5 days there. 4 days there? I think 4 days. Like I said, I'm nocturnal, so I lose track of time very easily. 4 or 5 days. And I've only had this is my third can of the day, and it's like what, 2:30, 3 in the morning. So hey, compared to where I was, I'm doing much better. Anyway, it's not about me, it's about you. Awkwardly, I'm starting to need a poo. I probably should have thought about that before I decided to go live. Anyway, we'll get through it. We'll plow through it. Did you see Theo Von? One of my, I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite comedians, but he's certainly a great modern comedian. There's no doubt about that. He recently bombed in front of all the troops in Qatar, however you say it. I just watched the clip, and yeah, it's kind of sad because like Theo's a very funny man, but he wasn't really doing material so much as he was kind of just relying on his personality, which is great for his general gig, for his general job. You know, people come out to see Theo Von, and so they laugh at the setup of the joke because you know Theo and he's wacky and he's cute and it's fun to see him. So they're just giggling on the way to the venue, for God's sake. But to entertain a platoon of soldiers who aren't necessarily fans or anything, you've got to stick to, you know, joke, set up punchline. You have to make sure that the punchlines are there because they're not your fans, buddy. They're not going to give you the benefit of cuteness. They're not going to, you know, giggle at the setup just because it's the Obama. And I think it was a bit of a short, sharp reminder to the guy that this is actually an art form you're engaged in. You know, I think he's got very used to being coasting by on on his popularity and podcast listeners and stuff, which is absolutely fine. I love the guy, but that doesn't translate to a platoon of troops. Is it platoon the right word? I don't know. It's like saying it. Who aren't necessarily fans. Platoon. That's another one of those good words. I don't quite know what it means. I was talking the other day about Diddy. P. Diddy or P. Didn't keeps getting referred to as a mogul. And I love that word. Mogul. Like megalithic. It's one of the many words that I hear. And I don't know what it means, but it sounds so cool. I'd love to be referred to as a megalithic mogul. I don't know if that's even a thing, but can you imagine? The megalithic mogul over here. I don't care what you say after that. It's a bit like tycoon. That's another great word that I refuse to Google because I don't want my potential illusions shattered. I don't want to know the definition. I just want to keep pondering it forever. Tycoon. It's usually in reference to a business person, a business tycoon from Taiwan. Blah blah blah. Imagine being referred to on the news as a megalithic mogul business tycoon. Wow. Yeah. Take out megalithic because I'm pretty sure that's an architectural. See, I don't even know that word. It relates to architecture, megalithic, as far as I'm aware. But mogul and tycoon, I do believe, relate heavily to people of influence. I'm not talking about fucking influencers on bloody Instagram. I'm talking about the real world, or the underworld, if you will. Powerful motherfuckers. Seeing my mum on Monday. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to go to hers and meet the dog, and my brother meet the dog. I'm well acquainted with the dog, but visit the dog, I should say. Likewise, my brother. Not seen him for ages. Although I've texted my brother a few times recently, just sort of funny stuff, just like little jokes and things, and he's not replied once. Now, I'm the kind of person that I have a tendency to that can make me a little paranoid. Depends on who you are. Like I've got a friend who I won't name because, much like my previous couple of girlfriends, I'm a secret boyfriend. I wasn't to them. I was their secret boyfriend, and the majority of my friends that are still my friends in this day and age are like secret friends. They're like they won't sort of come out publicly as my friend because they'll get shit for it. But certainly not all of them, but a significant amount, and I get it, and I appreciate it, and listen. I want friends, and I want a girlfriend. I don't care if you fucking drive around in a bumper sticker saying I am Dean's friend. Just give me a call sometime, innit? And they do. And I was talking to this fella about oh shit, completely lost my train of thought. Oh dear, oh dear. I've totally lost my train of thought. That's not good. That's another thing I've noticed recently that could perhaps be a product of alcoholism, or maybe it's just my brain. Oh no, I have been smoking weed again recently, here and there. My short-term memory has gone like really not good. My long-term memory is as good as ever, perhaps better than ever. I can recall shit that happened 2 years ago, like to the word. But if you ask me what I was just talking about 5 minutes ago, I'm probably not going to be able to tell you. Is what it is. It's just one of them things. One of them things. What do people mean when they say that? But it's one of those days. It's like when people say, "Oh God, it's one thing after another, isn't it? It's fucking one thing after another in this life." Well, yeah. That's how things occur, right? One after the other. What do you expect? Everything to happen all at once? Is that what you'd prefer? Yeah, good luck managing that. I'm thankful it's one thing after another. If it all just fucking rocked up and exploded on Monday, fuck me, I'd be having a week. I met an Italian girl earlier today. She was nice. She well, I told her um um fuck. I told her something that was very funny. Basically, um I told her that I was driving a very fast car, and she didn't believe me. So to give this Italian lady a pizza the proof, I drove past her. Oh god. Fuck me. Oh. We do jokes on this show, but maybe we should stop. Fuck me, that wasn't good. um, I met another girl once, and I said, what do you do for work? She said, I'm a web designer. I said, oh, like a spider. Oh god. Uh, all right, and there's me. I'm going to go at Theo Von, with his understandably tough crowd, right? A platoon of tycoon megalithic soldiers, right? Moguls, and there's me fucking talking to literally nobody. There's nobody on here, I don't think. And I'm bombing. I'm bombing in front of myself, alone, in a room. And I've got the nerve to talk shit about Theo Von. I wasn't talking shit about Theo Von. I love Theo Von. And everybody has bad gigs. I mentioned previously, I think I did like 10 stand-up shows in my 20s. I'd love to get back at it, by the way, because at the time when I was in my early 20s, I was a bit of a know-it-all, as you tend to be in your early 20s. But looking back with hindsight, I can see how that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way and is not very conducive to comment. Well, yeah, not really conducive to comedy. It's different when you're a grumpy 60-year-old coming out being a know-it-all. I can't wait to be that guy. But when you're like 21, it's like, dude, shut up, go live your life, then come back and talk to us. But here I am, 15 years later ish. I'd like to give it another bash. I've certainly become more supple, yeah, but more humble and, dare I say, in the same sentence, which might sound slightly contradictory, more wise. I think with wisdom comes humility and vice versa. So I don't know. I just think it'd be a more advantageous, more enjoyable thing to do at this age than it probably was in my early 20s. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not funny anymore. This hasn't been very funny. I'll give you that. Yeah. But hey, as I said at the beginning, I'm unprepared. This isn't material. This is just I don't know. Just take just I don't want to say I'm bored because that sounds defeatist. I'm never bored. Only true spiritual empty vessels get bored. What kind of loser gets bored in 2025? Are you out of your mind? Not only have you got every book ever written that you could potentially be reading, you've got fucking television, you've got a fucking mobile phone, you've got the internet, you've got prostitutes, you've got alcohol, you've got drugs, you've got family, you've got exercise, you've got video games, you've got fucking bored. No. You're stuck in a moment of analysis paralysis, meaning you're so flooded with options and opportunities that you can't decide what to do next. Hence, dare I say, why women typically, I would say, get more bored than men. It's not because you're not bored, but they will use that word because they're stifled by so many options they don't know what to choose. Um, It's like the whole meme about women not wanting to decide where to go to eat. Um, it- it's not that they don't want to decide; it's that they want to have confidence in who's leading them to take that decision out of their hands. And then if the meal is shit, it's on him, right? If they have a shit night or whatever, then it's not her responsibility. I was dating this girl not forever ago who told me, I think we should be on a break. We should go on a break. We need to just, be apart for a while. I was like, okay. I wasn't happy about it, I'll be honest, but I was like, oh, fair enough. I mean, what can I say? Okay, we will. I think she rang me back that same evening, by the way. So there's your inconsistency. But I got her to admit something quite important, something quite revealing, and it's this. Um, she basically said, "I'd love you to come round, and I want to see you, but I don't want to be the hypocrite who calls you up and invites you after I've just said we should go on a break. I'm saying let's go on a break, aka leave me alone. But what I'm really hoping for, I just want you to turn up. I want you to take it on yourself and chase me." And I put that to her. I said, because she's not going to just volunteer that information on her own. I put it to her. I said, "Is it possible that you want to see me, but would feel hypocritical inviting me? And then, if it goes wrong, we have a bad time, it's then therefore your fault. I think you would rather me just show up uninvited, and you'd be thrilled to see me, but you want it to be my initiative. And then if it goes great or if it goes bad or whatever, then it's all on me, and you don't have to take any responsibility for it. Am I right?" And she was like, "You got me. You got me. You idiot." Fuck you know. I'm a very indecisive person myself a lot of the time. Occasionally, I know. It's like I hate that saying when people go, "Oh, you never know. Oh, you never know." Fucking speak for yourself. Sometimes you know. At least I certainly know. Sometimes. Sometimes I know. Usually don't. Sometimes I do. But generally speaking, I can be quite indecisive. Probably more so than most men. I will admit that. So I know it is. I'm not saying I would try and put it on someone else. Or maybe I would. I don't know. Fuck knows. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Yeah, speaking of nobody cares, I just posted this little story on Facebook. I called it Words of Encouragement. You know, basically to anyone out there who's currently going through a hard time, going through hardship, struggling with mental health, physical health, whatever it may be, grieving. Um, you know, my best advice from the heart is shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. If you have a next of kin, if you have a spouse, if you have someone that you can really treat like a best friend, then sure they care. Speak to them. Absolutely. Sharing is caring. It's important to talk. But in terms of just gassing on the internet about your issues, don't do it. Don't do it. The only impact it could possibly have on your situation would be to make everything worse. You're also providing your future enemies with potential ammo they can use against you. So, in terms of bitching about your life on the internet, keep it to yourself. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. We all go through bad things. We all go through struggles and strife and difficult times. Those that care are when your contact list on your phone. It's probably about 2% of those motherfuckers, but they're in there. You can call them, you can speak to them. Putting it online, you're creating a future case against yourself. You're just giving people ammo. Um, you know, you're becoming the laughing stock of those who already don't like you. um, which the vast majority of people want to avoid. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm kind of beyond the point of caring when it comes to that. Um, but I'm speaking to the general person who has very high stakes in their reputation and all the rest of it. Um, yeah, don't bitch online about your personal life. The I say nobody cares, which is true, but not entirely, because those that do care, those that could care, ain't your friends. They're not going to care in the right way. Speak to a loved one, speak to a doctor, take your dog for a walk, go have a nice, beautiful shit. Do something to make yourself feel better, and don't dwell. Don't dwell. Beliefs create reality. Every single thing in this room, the blinds, the chest of drawers, the plate, this jumper, this bed, this fucking bag, this can, before it existed, before it manifested into material reality, it first had to exist as a thought in a human's brain. Everything that we call reality initially was a thought in a mind before it manifested. That's the process of manifestation. It starts here and it ends out there. So be very, very careful of what happens in here. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna no, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I need a poo. I do need a poo. But I also need a wee. So I think if I piss in a bottle, I think I might be able to fool my brain that I've been to the toilet, and so I'll be able to keep going a little longer without having to actually shit. So just bear with me a moment. Talk among yourselves. Stand by your man. Da, 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 stand by your man. That's a good song. Who sung that? Was it Tammy somebody? Fuck, I can never remember the name of the lady that sung that song. Stand by your man. Beautiful. There's that and the song by Love Affair, a 60s band, I believe, called Everlasting Love. And I think I've mentioned this before, but it's that need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied, everlasting love. Where does that girl? Oh, it kills me. It floors me, that song. It puts me on the ground. And I was trying to petition to my mate, another mate who I won't name for his own safety. I was telling him, man, this is one of the best songs ever. And he's laughing at me. Songwriter, this guy. He knows his music. Very good songwriter. And he's laughing at me like it's not that good. Are you fucking... Where's your heart, dude? Love Affair by Everlasting Love. You'll know it. You'll have heard it. If you haven't, YouTube it, Google it, go listen to it real quick. You'll go, oh yeah, this. You'll either say, oh yeah, this shit. And you'll go, oh yeah, Dean was right. This is fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. That I can tell you. Shit. Spoke to my dad earlier. He said, son, I said, Dad. He said, I don't drink anymore. I said, do you know? He went, no. I don't drink any less either, but, you know. We do jokes. We do jokes on this show. I might have to order a takeaway, you know. I hate to do that because it's such a waste of money. You know what I mean? Especially if you're ordering off Just Eat. Not only do they add to the price that's listed by the fucking people that make the food in the shop. They then charge you for delivery, which is understandable. But on top of that, they charge you a service fee, whatever the fuck that means. Oh, in order to give us extra money via delivery plus what we add on, you're also going to have to pay £1 for the privilege to pay extra. It's like, all right. But at this time of night, there's not much else I can do. I mean, there is a 24-hour Asda or something, or Tesco, but it's miles away. And I don't really know my way around this area and stuff, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, this is fascinating, right? I don't think so. What else has happened? The Diddy thing is still happening in the trial. Mr. Baby Oil. Mr. Baby Oil. I hate that he claimed that that moniker, that pseudonym, that nickname. That was supposed to be mine, right? I am Mr. Baby Oil. Fucker. But yeah, it's looking like he's going to get off with it. I'll be honest, I'm not overly invested in it. I don't care too much, but it just seems like another classic distraction. The way the media are like so honed in and 24/7 coverage about this particular case, which is going to be probably upcoming with the Russell Brand thing. It's a distraction. They take a celebrity, someone who's pissed off the establishment in some way for some reason, and then they amplify this person's worst flaws and features. They make a criminal case out of it. They throw every allegation and accusation in the world at them. And that keeps people distracted for a good 6 months while they sign all kinds of shady deals and shit behind closed doors in just dirty, fucking dusty, muddied up, fucking shitted corridors. Did he? Or didn't he? I don't know. I wasn't there. We'll find out what the jury says eventually. But it always bugs me how people say, like, well, innocent until proven guilty. As if, like, oh my God. Human beings are flawed. We know that. The justice system is flawed. We know that. Human error is rife. We know that. But somehow, 12 strangers, 12 random motherfuckers can sit down and decide the fate of somebody. And if their opinion is over 50% he did it, then apparently that's proof of guilt. And I'll be like, well, he was convicted. That's proof of guilt. Oh, okay. What happened to human error? What happened to just fucking reality? Jesus Christ. You think people can't be swayed? You think people can't be manipulated, fooled, buy into lies because they're in a special room with tall ceilings and big pictures of the king on the wall and shit? Please. Even scientists have the humility, the decency to admit that science doesn't prove anything. Only idiots will ever use the phrase scientific proof. Scientists know that science is about gathering the best available data and evidence, creating a hypothesis, testing the hypothesis, and seeing which is most likely. And then you lean into the version which is most backed by the evidence. To call that proof is an end to the argument, is an end to the investigation. True scientists don't do that. There's no such thing as scientific proof. That's a colloquialism. That's a colloquial phrase that we muggles use to navigate the world. Science doesn't prove. Science theorizes. And yes, scientific theories have to be backed up by data which can be verified, observations which can be verified, repeatable, etc. But proof, as in like mathematical proof, no. And scientists know that about science. So the idea that normal people don't know that, I think they do know that about court systems and legality. It's just a bit of a terrifying concept to actually accept that our system of innocent until quote unquote proven guilty is as flawed as human opinion itself. That's a frightening prospect for a lot of people, including me. I get it, but to deny it is just silly. Frightening or not, to deny that that's the reality of the world we live in is needlessly silly. What do I order? See, I'm feeling like a pizza. I'm, you ever feel like a pizza? You just feel like, no, forget that. My my stomach is fancying a pizza, but I'm doing this carnivore thing, right? So even recently, when I've been getting takeaways, I'll order like a big triple burger, bin the bread, bin the bun, and just eat the burger meat. And I feel like to order a pizza but only eat the toppings is a total waste. I'd be throwing away an entire pizza base. I'll be eating like £1.50's worth of toppings, and the whole thing will have cost about 16 quid to get here. So that feels like a rip off. I don't know. We'll see if there's anywhere still doing steaks, because I know, believe it or not, certain takeaways in this area do jokes on this show, and they do steak and onion, steak and mushroom. I've had that before. It was shit as far as the steak goes, but at this time of night, beggars can't really be choosers. Beggars can't really be choosers. Beggars can never be choosers, right? But I don't know. I'll get something. I'm starting to. Have you ever heard that phrase, turtle head? Whoa! Listen to that. Has your vape ever done that before? It just starts hissing by itself like a. And now it's stopped. First time I ever heard that, it shit me up. First of all, I didn't know it was the vape. I just heard some hissing coming from like near my fireplace. I was like, what the fucking hell is going on over here? I thought we had a snake coming down the chimney. I went over and it was just my vape vaping itself. So I was like, what the fuck? Is it going to explode? I've heard these stories about vapes exploding and, the flat catching fire. And, it can be pretty fucking, can be quite brutal. But anyway, I just picked it up, Rubik's cubed it a little bit, just tried to pull it apart, and it chilled out. So yeah. I don't really know. There seems to be no one in it. Don't quit your day job / stand up, bro. If I get what you're saying, and I feel you, I hear you. I don't currently have a day job, and stand up I've not done for way over a decade. But yeah, can you imagine this? If this was the set, that wouldn't be. Whew. Oh my god! I don't know if I'd rather be me doing that or someone in the audience who's victim to it. But yeah, this isn't a set, by the way. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I have no material. I'm not prepared. I'm just fucking around. I'm just talking. Just talking. He says, joking. Looked it up for myself last week on what? On dit. So I've got a big crack in my phone. I can't read the comment. Joking. Looked it up for myself last week on dit. What, you looked at my stand-up? Or you looked at my old day job? I don't know. Well, all I can do is apologize, try and do better in the future. And on Reddit, am I on Reddit? I've never used Reddit in my life. A lot of the things I end up talking about end up coming from Reddit. I'm aware it's a very popular community. A lot of memes and narratives and stuff come forth into other areas of social media via Reddit. and I end up commenting on those issues. But personally, I've never used Reddit. Am I on there? Well, I'm not on there, but is my stand-up on there? It shouldn't be. Oh God, I hate to see that thread. Fuck me. What's on your mind, sir? I'm probably going to bounce off soonish to, order some food and wallow in my own indifference. But is there anything you would like to talk about in the next 10 minutes or so? Because, like I said, I came unscripted, I came unprepared. I'm happy to talk about whatever. He goes, looked up wanker and your picture was there. Okay. Well, quite frankly. I was just flicking through the dictionary, the encyclopedia, in fact. And it's funny because the arsehole and dickhead, although they have two sort of anatomical meanings, they were all headed by your face. The bit in the top right, the sort of the picture that they sort of included, it was your face in both dickhead and wanker. So that's something to be proud of. You're on 2 pages in the encyclopedia. That's pretty cool. That I can tell you. He says, no, wait. It was people who ate jelly and cream cheese. What? People who ate jelly and cream cheese. I don't get that. Is that something you put together? Like you're American, right? And in America, it's quite a famous thing. They have peanut butter and jelly. And as an Englishman, that sounds absolutely fucking disgusting. Then you learn what they mean by jelly is what we call jam. And you go, oh, okay. Well, that kind of turns it on its head. Jam is very different from jelly. Jelly's that kind of wobbly, it's the wobbly stuff. A very different consistency to jam, be it strawberry jam or blackcurrant jam or whatever. And I could see that working with peanut butter. Peanut butter works with a surprising amount of things. I once had one of my favorite simple meals in the world is 2 slices of toast, 2 fried eggs, big slice of cheese. It's so simple and it's so nice. Once I put peanut butter on the top layer of toast, just over the cheese, just before the eggs. No one would do that. That's maverick talk. That's wild man kind of ish. But you know what? It was fucking good. It was bloody good, and I'd do it again. Yeah, that's what it was. That is what it is. It is what it is. Procter and Gamble killing us slowly. Yeah, I guess. Aren't there a lot of corporations with a vested interest in killing us slowly? Not to be to be ignorant, to be honest. I don't fully understand what are Procter and Gamble in control of exactly? Which corporations? Which subsidiary companies? I've heard it before and I've forgotten. So I'm currently unaware. Like, is it food and drink? Is it drugs and pharmaceuticals? Procter and Gamble? I don't remember, but there are many, many, many corporations with a vested interest in reducing the human population, right? Particularly the classically more competent area of the human population, the Western world, right? Particularly the males. Those which are most likely to rebel against and overthrow governments are the highest on the kill list for those wanting to depopulate the world to save the planet, funnily enough. Oh, yeah. oh, the planet's got a real issue with human beings, right? Every time they exhale, what does it do? Produce carbon fucking monoxide or dioxide, whatever it is, which feeds the plants and the trees and the grass, which take that in, that carbon, transform it into oxygen, and provide us back with what we need, a perfect symbiotic relationship between humanity and the trees and the grass and the leaves, right? Well, nature, as if human beings are suddenly not nature anymore, because what? We've got jumpers and surnames and fucking trainers on and shit. Of course we're nature. We're created in the image of God. I had a girlfriend once who told me, well, I think a few of them have come up with this. I don't think humans are supposed to be on Earth. I don't think we belong here. We're destroying nature. You idiot. We are nature. Without us exhaling all fucking day long, there would be no nature in terms of what you think of grass and trees and leaves and flowers and shit. And without them, we wouldn't be here. It's a perfect yin yang. It's like hot and cold, up and down, light and dark, male and female, strong and weak. We need one another. It's all part of the same shit. What do you say here? Toxic shock syndrome and fluoride. I certainly know all about fluoride. I don't know what toxic shock syndrome is. I've never heard that phrase, I'm afraid. Sorry. Fluoride, believe me. Even any honest dentist will tell you that fluoride is not a good idea. Although it is included in like almost every toothpaste and every mouthwash. There exists a condition known as is it fluorosis of the enamel or fluorosis of the tooth? I'm not sure exactly how it's worded, but the point being is that sodium fluoride is destroying your teeth, as well as destroying your nervous system and your mental faculties and all the rest. You can get toothpaste and mouthwash without fluoride. Everybody must know that and must invest, because what the hell are you doing otherwise? But even honest dentists are fully aware that fluoride is bad for the teeth. Fluorosis of the enamel or the tooth, however it's worded. Look it up. My last dentist that I saw was a very honest man, and he told me that. They get sponsored in the same way doctors do. They get commission for pushing certain drugs and certain things and chemicals, because that's the way the system works. But every now and again, you're going to come across an honest one who'll tell you the truth. Sodium fluoride is poison to human beings. Literally poison. There's no benefit. And people will say to me the same about alcohol. Well, you can complain about fluoride, but you're drinking alcohol. True. There are no medical benefits to alcohol at all that I'm aware of. I certainly don't promote it. I don't encourage it. In an ideal world, I probably wouldn't drink at all. And that's kind of ultimately what I'm still aiming at. But, I'm flawed and I'm struggling. But at the same time, you can't say you get nothing positive out of alcohol. It does lubricate the tongue, not physically, but metaphorically. Helps you just sort of socially engage a bit more, become a bit more loosey goosey, fruity, juicy, tooty loosey fruit, whatever. In the long run, these things probably aren't benefits, but it can certainly help us in the short run. A few more comments here. Bro said tampons. Oh! Andrew Dice Clay over here. Oh! He thought he was gonna talk for a year and shit. He said, hey, bitch, where you got those tampons? She said, it's because I'm on my period. Oh! Andrew Dice Clay. Little Miss Muffin sat on a tuffet, eating a curds and whey. Along came a spider. He sat down beside her. He said, "Hey, bitch, you're gay." Ow! Andrew Dice Clay over here. So get the fuck out, fluoride protest song. It's past your bedtime. You fucking telling me, dude. I don't know. I can't see the time right now, but it's way past my bedtime. Aren't you like 4? Actually, I'm 3.5. So come on, show some respect over here. Controls impersonate other YouTubers. Who can I do other YouTubers? I've conceptually thought of doing Jaren. You know Jarenism. I've never done it ever on video before, but I'll give you a quick version of what's in my head right now. He's like, what's Jaren like? So, quite honestly, frankly, we can see if we look at the studies just done by other YouTubers, okay? And I mean, well, that could be something to be determined, okay? Well, you never know. A lot of people they'll say, it's not good at all. I'm blurring it with Trump. A lot of people are saying, okay. Most of my impressions, I do these sort of, because I've done Trump so fucking much, they all sort of they tend to sort of center around that kind of shit. Everybody knows it. But Jaren, slightly, a little bit of Kermitness going on, okay? Kind of like, you might say, Jordan Beat. All right. He speaks quickly, concisely, in kind of short kind of words, and well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we will. Fuck that, Jaren. Other YouTubers, like who else? How about Russian vids? Oh fuck! I used to do a good Russian vids, but I've not done it for so many years. Give me a complete break. Fuck it. I'm not really in an impression mode. I'll give you a quick JFK. Because it's always fun to do. We will put man on the moon before the end of the decade. Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Barack Obama. Michael and I went to the moon. Yes. Okay. We went to the moon and we plan to be returning to the moon. Oh my god. I sound like fucking some Simpsons character or something. No, it's just look, it's not happening. Shut down the impressions. Tooth, moon, and moon. Okay. I might have to go for that poo, Ooh, people are just commenting emojis at me now. And I'm not, is that a pregnant man emoji? Are you trying to say I'm fat? I'm not fat, nigga. I'm bloated. All right? I got big, but no, I haven't got big bones. I've got a typical skeleton. But look at this shit. Imagine that was your son. Imagine that was your dad. Imagine that was your fucking. Look at that. My back curves in like a lady's back. And my belly curves out like a fucking old fella's belly. It's like there's some symmetry going on here. And it's probably not the healthiest. What the? It's more preg, and then you give me the pregnant man emoji followed by the special star effects. Well, I appreciate that. When it comes to pregnant men, I like to consider myself one of those special ones. When's your due date? Um, well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because if this shit gets any bigger, um, you know, it's going to be truly concerning. System of control says you want to see something really scary. My answer to that is no. Rain says, what's your face?" It's the expressive part of my head. Like this, if you look at the back of my head, you don't know what it's fucking saying, right? But if you look at the front of my head, it says words. These eyebrows are very expressive. It's the expressive part of my head. I was responding to the other person. Oh, fair enough. Okay, sorry, I don't know what's going on there. System of control says you look about 33. I'll take that. Someone else says he's 72. Oh, Andrew Dice Clay. He came out here. He thought they had no clue. He said, "Hey, bitch, what's your age?" They said, "Hey, 72. Oh, you old fart." He looks 2,763. Fuck me. I knocked on the door. I said, "Hey, bitch, it's me." She said, "How old are you?" I said, 2,763. Oh! In dog years. In dog years. I'll pick up a flap and shout in your fucking dog's ear. How about that? Oh! I don't even know. Whoa! I've spilled my fucking Jesus. Spilled Coca-Cola everywhere. Look, I'm gonna go for a really quick piss. Give me shit. Keep talking to me. Give me some. Come on. Give me some. I'll be back in 1 minute. No! See? 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 Man, see? I don't fuck about. People always say, like, I go for a piss, I come back like in like 15 seconds. People are like, fucking hell, you're quick. I don't fuck about. I get it takes people longer to have a shit if people get constipated and stuff, but no one's pistipated. You can piss in seconds. Stop fucking about. What have we got here? Oh, Jesus. Woof woof. Pregnant man, the world. Helicopters, emojis, fire emojis. Do poor jokes with clay voice, maybe. Make fun of the poor and talk about joining the masses. What? Are you gay? Is one question, I think. Why are you gay? Who is gay? I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Do poor. When you say poor jokes, do you mean like awful jokes, or do you mean jokes about the poor people? The people that come out here, they ain't got any fucking money. Oh. Uh, I don't know if I can make fun of poor people because I kind of am one. I'm not poor. It depends. It's all relative, right? I'm very well off compared to the vast majority of human history. Just because there are many, many people around today who are way better off than me, I wouldn't call that poor. You know, on aggregate of the entirety of human history, I'm rich. I'm the luckiest man alive. God damn it. Uh, wash your bum. What the? You assuming I don't? You assuming that needs to be said? Like I've got any kind of filth coming in and out of my bum? Well, out. Certainly, filth does come out of my bum, but it's a one-way street down there, believe me. That I can tell you. It's a one-way ticket for a shit, okay? No plungers. No plungers in my asshole. Quite frankly, that I can tell you. In a smooth way. Um, no. You know what? I was halfway through watching this debate. So, so it goes, you look easy to draw. I like that. That's a nice thought. Uh, I've only been drawn a couple of times. Oh, that's an insult. Yeah, that's fine. I'd like to think I've got some distinguishing characteristics. I don't think I do, but I'd like to think I do. I don't look like anybody. There are no lookalikes. Like, if you were to look at my face and say, like, all right, name someone that looks like me, that you think, oh, you look just like so and so, and you'll struggle to. Um, I think so. I don't know. I've got a unique face. That's not a good thing. I'm not, whatever. That's not a plus or a negative. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Uh, draw me though. Draw me, my N word. What? This person says, "Why are you British? Why are you British? Why should somebody be British? Why am I British? I don't know. Roll the dice. God rolled the dice, and he decided to make me British. I'm quite good at the accent. You've probably noticed. I've got that down pat. So someone says, "Why did you pick that channel name? What unfair funfair?" Um, well, I had a song called Vitamin D. I still do have a song called Vitamin D, and there was a lyric in it. It says, "Life's an unfair funfair. Pull up in my underwear. Slay anyone who dare say I need to cut my hair. I got a suffragette gushing over the stuff I said. I'm in your mother's bed reading books and receiving head. See no reason to be depressed. I'm in the fucking It's a rap, right? I can't remember it all. But it describes life as an unfair funfair. Pull up in my for some reason it was just that phrase was bouncing around my head when I went to make this YouTube channel. I've had about 7 or 8 other YouTube channels prior to this that were all deleted for violating various terms of service. Primarily during the COVID era, but even before that. But yeah, unfair funfair. I don't know, it rhymes. It's catchy, it's cool, and it's reminiscent of the world we live in, right? Life isn't unfair, funfair. So I don't know. I thought it'd be an appropriate name. And here's what it is. You know, hey, I might bounce because it's not getting any earlier, and I'm gonna have to get some food. And like I said to you, and I apologize very slightly. I came unprepared. I said that in the beginning. I've got no show prep, no notes or nothing in particular to talk about. So thank you for bearing with me and for keeping me company for this last few minutes. I do appreciate it. It's been fun. Uh, I'll go live hopefully later this week at some point with some fucking bullet points, some notes, some shit to actually fucking get into, to get my teeth into. We'll have more of a discussion then. But yeah, thanks for being there because, I mean, imagine being the only person on Earth. That's something I've wondered about a lot. I mean, I have a little bit of a sexual fantasy about moving to China and all the Chinese men are dead and I'm the only man in China. Whoo! That could be interesting. Even in the world, the last man on Earth kind of thing. If I was the only man on Earth, I would be in such high demand. It would be unreal. But then again, the idea that feminism and society in large typically puts all the blame on men, it would be all the blame on me as an individual, and I don't think I could handle that level of blame for fucking everything. Jesus. Um, but if I was, at least there are women around, right? At least there's people to talk to. There's people to fucking, play with. If I was the last person on Earth, oh god, I know some people like to just be fucking little Doctor Doolittles and walk around talking to the raccoons and the fucking squirrels and shit. But look, I love animals, but to a degree, right? You can't communicate with them. Certainly not in my favorite way, which is verbally, So it'd be hell. So thanks for joining me, and thanks for being here. What we comments here? Why China though? Any country? And you use China? Yeah, I like Chinese ladies. Sorry. Flat Earth on the ballot. Claim pops up in US politics. Flat Earth is going to be on the ballot. What the hell does that even mean? How can you vote Flat Earth to be a fucking? What does that even mean? People involved in politics in Alabama, Georgia, and Minnesota have attracted attention for their links to the Flat Earth movement. Well, good luck with that. Life's an unfair fun fair, but it's still a fun fair. So that's going to be exciting to see how that plays out. Enjoyed this brain rot. Likewise, thanks for helping aid it. It's so skibbity that I can tell you. Okay? Until next time, skibbity bee, skibbity boo. Oh! Adios. Take care, everybody. You know I love you. Don't do anything I would. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye. Talk soon.